Thank you for catching up this afternoon, Peter. I appreciate you taking the time out of your busy day.
Okay.
I know you've been flat chat. So you were telling me a minute ago where your work ethic came from.
Was I?
Yeah, a pub somewhere.
Oh yes, we brought up in the pub. Went there at 6 years of age and had 10 years in the pub, so always had plenty of work.
From 6 years of age.
Yes, from 6 years of age.
So you could wash the glasses. You could.
Oh, well, I did the flagons.
Right.
You wash them and you fill them. The only thing I couldn't do is to get them in the crate. They're too heavy now. Just lift up high and stack. You had to get someone else to do that.
6 years of age.
Yeah.
Hard work.
Yeah. And I always had to have a friend. We needed a friend to go and get the empty flagons and things. There's a flagon trade at that age.
Well, I find that interesting because the show's called Life Skills, and having that work ethic, that is a life skill.
Yeah.
So the fact that you developed it by necessity,
No choice.
your parents owned the bar, owned the pub, and that was what you did.
They were good publicans too.
Yeah.
My mother was a concert pianist. My father was a singer. That's how they met. So you can imagine how entertainment went.
That is cool.
And they did things like you get up and just to remember the pub. You get up and sing, and you're on free booze for an hour. Double play.
I want to go to that pub. Is it still open? Oh, God, I could have it.
Been up for mortgagee sale 4 times this century. I've seen anyway. There's no money in pubs now.
No.
But remember, we got in trouble with the council for having more than 500 in the bars on a Saturday afternoon.
I'd say you deserve congratulations.
No?
That's clever marketing.
The following week, I counted them, and we had 670 odd.
Oh, so there weren't even 500.
No.
670.
Well, you try and count those. Yeah.
So, cool. Well, the format of the interviews kind of goes a little bit like this. One of the first questions I often ask someone is, so what do you do?
Accountant.
You're an accountant?
Yeah.
Wow.
I've been for a long time.
When did you start?
I qualified in 1972. That's when I finished my final exams. Yeah, it's a long time ago.
And then when did you open this?
76.
76.
Yeah.
So you worked for someone for a while?
Northern Whangarei Company, 4 years. And then before that I worked in the revenue as a tax inspector and a firm of accountants. My father's accountant's firm.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then you've been operating this ever since?
For the 40 years, yeah.
40 years.
My 40th year.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you saw the potential of the site before McDonald's across the road?
Oh yes, way before McDonald's. They come in 82.
You're a bit of a visionary, aren't you?
Oh, did you hear that we're going to change the sign?
No?
On the front?
No?
It's going to be called
Moody's?
Mick, M-I-C-K, Better, B-E-T-T.
So, you've been an accountant for 40 years. You were here before McDonald's found the place.
Yeah.
You would know a lot of people around town.
Well, we know a fair few, but without being excessive, But yes, we do know a fair few. Yeah. But it's quite a good site, in terms of, we often get pick up business people walking across.
So, what's the key to success in business?
Hard work.
Hard work.
Yeah.
What time do you start in the morning?
This morning I started just after 3 o'clock.
Oh wow!
Because I want to upgrade some computers to the new Windows 10. And I didn't want them all downloading at once in case I got things tangled, so I just did them one at a time.
So 3 o'clock. When do you normally finish?
Oh, I'll finish 4 or 5.
4 or 5?
Yeah, it depends on what's happening. Yeah, but I mean, normally I would get in here by 5 o'clock, 5:30.
That was the time I was expecting because you told me you start about 5:30 before.
Yeah, well, this morning I wanted the extra time though.
Yeah, I must admit I was a bit shocked with the 3 o'clock.
Yeah, but I wanted extra time because I wanted to download and do the installation, which is nearly an hour, one at a time. So they're not. So as it gets tangled, I just, because the mess that follows would be annoying.
So one of the skills you could pass is pre-planning.
Oh yeah.
Pre-planning, start early,
Yeah.
and find good people. We were talking about your child's badminton coach a minute ago.
Oh yeah.
Find good people. That's another
Yeah.
secret, isn't it?
Yeah. He certainly has had a very positive influence, and I would imagine that with his business coaching, he'll be very positive with those other people too.
So this is Aaron.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. So it's quite seriously, the kids have got a lot to be grateful for, because you certainly put them the right way.
Mm.
It's, they've been very successful in everything they've done. So,
I think Aaron had a bit to do with that.
Well, he certainly motivated them.
Mm.
It was just that he was coaching them in sport at the same time. So, and they've been very successful too. Like result-wise. So.
You must have known that Aaron since he was at school.
I think it's about 17, 18 when he started coaching them.
Mm.
And sort of went from there, just with an accident. It wasn't a design thing, it was just an accident. He was down the hall and showing them this and showing them that.
So you've been accounting for 40 years. How did you get into accounting?
Well, a mate of mine from Palmerston Boys High persuaded me to work for Inland Revenue and organised me a job, and I sort of never got a choice about it because, he sort of organised it. So that's how it started.
So you started at Inland Revenue.
Yeah.
And thought, when did you first think that, hey, working for someone is okay, but I'd rather work for myself? When did you start doing that?
After I went to my father's accountant's firm, because he kept coming around there, because my parents were into bowls and he was in the bowls team, and he kept coming around there and teasing the shit out of me.
Teasing has played a big part in your life, hasn't it?
Mm.
You still like to do it to this day, I notice.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. But no, he was teasing me, and you know what I mean. And telling me I wasn't allowed to come round to his office till after I left the Inland Revenue. Didn't want bloody tax inspectors round his office. Thank you.
Well, that's the sort of thing an accountant might say.
Yeah.
In the day.
Yeah. Yes. So that was all fun, but that was good fun. So yeah, no. It was a good 4 years I worked for him, and but their firm disintegrated basically because the old got too old and one died, and then they sold it to some firm from Wellington, and then I saw this job up here, and I went for an interview, and they would have just made the offers that I couldn't believe, and I had no choice to take. Getting married at the same time and to buy a house for $3 a week, and then they wiped that down to zero.
How did they do that?
Just did.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So, what would you say to someone who is considering a career in accounting? What sort of things should they
get qualified first, then get that out of the road, and there's lots of amateurs out there.
There are?
Yes.
Even with all the Inland Revenue compliance and everything,
there's lots of amateurs out there, pretend accountants. It's not illegal to not be qualified now.
Oh, so you can call yourself an accountant, you don't have to be qualified?
Yeah, my dog's an accountant. He's had more experience in an accountant's office than what some of the ones out there have had.
Yeah.
Not that he spends much time in here, but just on the weekends sometimes.
So, you've been running this business for 40 years. Where do you where do you see this business headed? What is it that you want to do?
I'm quite happy with the way things are at the moment. Yeah. Staff are all seniors and all have formal accounting qualifications. So I don't touch anybody who doesn't. Yeah, so that's how it goes.
And I noticed that you're really big on systemizing. One of the first things I learned about you is your email address here isn't Peter at Moody Accountants. You have a very systemized way.
That's right.
So that if Peter didn't turn up for one day, well, that email would still work.
Yes.
And someone else could keep the work going.
If you got Mary at etc., etc., and Mary leaves, you've got trouble.
Yeah.
Whereas if ours is all MCAs, that's Moody's Chartered Accountants, and then a number. That's how it all works, you see.
And then it's
Then that will be
well,
inherited by the new
future-proof.
girl. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good system. Works.
And is putting systems like that in place that are future-proof, that's a vital part of business?
Yep. Definitely. And, you know, choosing the right staff is also, you need luck.
Mm.
And I would say that the ones I thought were the best when you employed them, weren't. And the ones that you're a bit worried about, but what are you going to do? You've got to employ, often turn out to be the best.
So you're saying reading a CV and having an interview maybe isn't enough?
Yeah, I think that would be fair comment.
Mm.
Because I certainly, you've talked to a person for half an hour, you may have seen them twice, and then you've got to make a decision.
And still don't know enough, really.
You
sometimes.
don't know, and that might be their best effort yet. And after that,
There's this thing in sales where when people hire a sales rep that doesn't turn out, people will often say that sales rep only ever made one sale to get the job.
Yeah.
So, what would you? As you know, we've already asked that. You said anyone looking to get into accounting, you tell them to study. We looked at a little bit of systems. Now, one of the other things that I really love about how you operate is your clients aren't just clients. It's a real community. It's almost like a family, isn't it? You do a lot of things to cross-promote and help each other grow.
Yeah.
So tell me some of that.
Well, it's hard to for confidential reasons, but
Right.
I would say that certainly we have pushed a lot of big work in the direction of some of the clients, on various occasions, and lots of little sort of work, and it's worked, if you get my meaning. I think Bruce Webb, for instance, he's a very good glazier, and we probably put quite a few little bits of work his way, but then a broken window is only $100 or $80 or whatever it is, so it's not going to be $10,000 worth. But if we can push somebody in the direction of a house that's the builder, yes, we will do it.
Yeah.
And we've done quite a few over the years, and there's been a fair few more because of the way the pads work that we don't know about.
So what are these pads?
On the back of it, I haven't got one here.
So I might get a pad from your accounting.
Yeah,
company.
and on the back of it, it's
Yep.
got a whole lot of clients who've got something to sell. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we've got one here. On the back of it.
So this is my notepad on my desk, and on the back of it, these are
Clients.
other clients
Who
just advertising their services and products.
Yeah, they've got something to sell, and then of course you get that, and you use it for notes, and it's got your name and everything on top, and if you like Bruce Webb, you do your quotes on it, and then when you give the quote, you drag so many people's names off to that other person.
So that customer that you've just given your quote to has got all of these other businesses advertising in the back, and those are all your clients as well.
But you don't know there may be something coming out of it, and it's all computer done. You know what I mean? And so the computer controls it, and we just wouldn't have a clue.
It's almost like an offline Facebook before Facebook even came along.
Yeah, but it's very economical in the sense that we don't charge the clients for it, and it just goes, and things happen sometimes, and other times who knows,
You have another policy that fascinates me. I'm just trying to get the wording right, but how do you put it? It's a reasonable amount of consulting time at no charge.
Yeah,
How does it go?
You're allowed a reasonable amount of free consultation.
Right.
Yeah.
And I got a feeling I understand why that's important, but tell me, why do you do that?
Because it keeps the door open.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes if a client's not doing very well, they're trying to keep costs down, and they do the
They won't ring their accountant.
Yeah.
They'll do the opposite of what they should do.
Yeah.
So you make it easy for them to do the right thing. You say,
Yeah.
look, come see me.
Yeah. Well, they can make an appointment. We generally don't chase them because we don't always know what's going on today as opposed to yesterday and things. But, you know, if they come in and ask, or something to do with a son or a daughter or something, we just don't bother, because I'd have to hire another staff member if we can do all these little bills. I don't want to do that.
And plus, it's a turn off for the client who might otherwise benefit from your advice.
Yeah. we just use that term as you're out of a reasonable amount of consultation. You know what I mean?
And reasonable is defined.
We haven't billed anyone for consultation for quite a few years. I put it that way.
But it works out at the end of the day, doesn't it?
Oh yeah. You know, what happens is sometimes they come in quite a lot. So an individual client come quite a lot this year, next year you'll hardly see them. You know, and that's plus and minus and whatever.
One of the things that struck me about you ever since I met you, Peter, is you kind of got me to thinking about business, and you kind of got me thinking this way, that, I mean, I'm looking here and I see all the business cards from some of your network friends and stuff, and it seems to me that you're an accountant. One would expect you to be all about numbers and columns and figures, but you're actually about people. So business is more a people.
If you can link one with the other, and they do some business, you know,
then that works.
It works, you know. Aaron came in here a couple of years ago. No, it would be a lot less than that. Say about a year, 15 months ago. He said, something about a glazier. You know, he was referring to Bruce Webb. And, you would be able to give you had one on the back of your pants, didn't you? And he's sort of querying me, you see. And finally, I got the number out of the computer. That was quite a place for me to get it, and gave it to him, and he went blah, blah, blah on a cell phone. And I thought, you didn't put that number in, because you dialed it direct. Or did you? You know, I wasn't totally certain. Sure enough, he dialed it direct, and he got Bruce on the other end, and he wanted a couple of windows fixed down the badminton hall that had been broken, you see. And he says, to Bruce, he asked me for the worst glazier in town, and Bruce, he gave me this number, you see. And of course, it was all jokey, and I thought, what the hell's going on here? Then I find out that Bruce has been doing his work for about 15 years.
So he was having you on.
That's all right. You'll keep.
But I think you've made up for it. I mean, you bought Aaron one bottle of wine that was.
Oh yeah, got naughty label on it.
The naughty label on it. In fact, there were several bottles of wine with several naughty labels.
Yes, yeah. But that's just a bit of fun, you know. But
so
you've got to get him.
It is a people game. It is about having fun. You also seem to be a great believer in business referral groups.
Yes, I also we try to give out cards. You know, if I think there's any possibility someone needs somebody, and I've got a card I will give. You know, and I mean you don't know. I mean it's 2 seconds. It's not work, and I mean it's just gone. And you know, often it leads to work, and sometimes we're looking through one client's payments, and suddenly we see payments to other clients. You know,
that's cool. And you see that because you're doing their accounts. I introduced those guys. Look, they're doing business together.
Yeah.
That must be a good feeling.
Not that we keep a record of it, but you know, I mean, you just makes us feel it's quite good. But and occasionally we've had them come in and leave checks here for each other and things like this.
Oh really? Can I leave this here for Bill? Yep. Bill comes in. Can I leave this here for Bob? Yep.
We had one particular case for 3,000 or 4,000.
3,000 or 4,000.
Each of them checks for 3,000 or 4,000. And I didn't know anything about the jobs, but they contacted each other. I can't remember which one did or what, off the back of the pad. They did business.
Wow. Off the back of those pads that we were talking about.
Yeah.
Wow.
But they were rubbing it in and being funny. That's why they came in here and left the check here, you see.
A good sense of humour.
Oh yes, they were just letting me know, you know. I got a little bit of shit from them, you know, etc. At the same time, all jokey.
Well, I mean, the other thing that you characterise is you just have this attitude that give us gain. You come to the network meeting You love to give, don't you? You've got those boxes that help people.
Yeah. Well, Ping brings those in from China for us, But those sort of things, they're useful without being fantastic. Because you sit on one, you get a bloody sore, whatever. I'm serious about that because I break every time and jagged. But sometimes an accountant can help. In the same that you don't have to be an accountant to do it, but you're talking to someone and they say something to you about, I'm going to build a new building. Oh, if you're going to do that, this is the goal design for you.
So be a connector.
Yeah.
So, all right, you're an accountant. You're a successful accountant. You love to connect people. I asked you before, how does someone become a good accountant? You said go get the qualification. There's a lot of cowboys out there.
Yeah.
But apart from just accounting, what about success in life in general, a life skill? What would you say to someone who wants to know, who says, well, Peter, I'll do anything you say. What do I need? What will help me be successful?
I think sport's one of the best things.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
And the reason?
Well, you can start with that, and apart from the fitness and everything else that goes with it, you get out there and you're having a go. And why not?
So that's one part of the recipe for success. Give it a go.
Give it a go.
Yeah.
But I mean, you can start sport-wise. You make good contacts, and things lead to another thing later on.
Because, like you were saying, your dad and his accountant played bowls.
Yeah.
Aaron has coached. Is it
my kids?
Your kids. Was it your kids that went to
Olympics and Commonwealth Games?
Right.
Yeah.
So and they've done very well in other areas of life. Because I guess the things I've learned about sports would be, work ethic, commitment, turn up, give it a go, try, get some coaching help and some expertise and some advice, try harder, try again.
And you're good on the big occasion, like an exam.
Yeah.
You're good on that big occasion. It's not, you've had so many big occasions in your life, that come just an exam, I just want to get out of the road, and you perform well at it.
So these are just fundamentals that make you successful in anything you choose to do.
Yeah, and I think the sports one's very good because when you've been successful on the sports field, then you get an exam at university or something, well, you just romp through that because that's not even a big occasion. It's a nuisance, but it's not a big occasion.
Cool, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So if someone wanted to contact you to talk about accounting, sometimes business people watch our show, how can they get hold of you?
Oh, well, here I am.
Here you are.
Straight opposite McDonald's, you park by the door.
Park by the door, come on in, say hi.
Yeah. But it's, I do believe Aaron's made a really big contribution to our kids. He certainly motivated them, if that's the way you want to put it, and they've been very successful. And I just really liked it. It's I would like John to have been a cricketer, but he had to choose which sport.
He's a badminton player.
Well, he's also a tennis player and a squash player. And it was the year he set out to beat the Auckland #1 in all three of those sports and achieved it.
You got it. Wow.
Yes. It's quite funny. He thought he was going to do two in one day because he won that big squash tournament down in Auckland, and then he had to play for Northland and Badminton in the afternoon, and he's worried about the squash. He didn't think he'd win that, but he did. And then in the afternoon it was the match playing singles at #1 for Northland against what would be the #1 Auckland player, but the #1 Auckland player sat in the sideline and they played their #2 against him. Really? John was pissed off.
You wanted to win and beat the #1.
Oh, he thrashed the #2. Not a bit. Not sure how many points he got, but it wasn't very many. But you know what I mean. It was just how it was. He was confident on the badminton one, but he's had some big wins, so that's how it goes.
That's cool. Well, that's cool. Well, my battery's about to go flat, so we'll probably wrap it up. But thank you, Peter.
All right, mate.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
Cheers.
Cheers.
No My battery's going flat.
I'll tell you what,